there's layers of stealing. There's the first layer of stealing, second layer of stealing, third layer of stealing.
Subcontractor,
Yeah, exactly. Contractor, subcontractor. It's like peeling an onion.
What if I told you that in the middle of mass layoffs, billion-dollar contracts are still being awarded every single day? That, while headlines scream chaos, real businesses, small businesses just like yours, are still securing deals with the biggest buyer on the planet. In 2025, the US government is undergoing unprecedented changes. Massive layoffs, agency overhauls, and sweeping executive orders are reshaping the federal landscape. With the whirlwind of changes, how can government contracts not only survive, but thrive? Let's talk coordination, clarity, and courage. Are you a small business owner, an executive considering your first government bid or your next big one? Tell us, where are you in your government journey? Comment in the comment section below. So let's break it down. Under Trump's second term, a new department led by Elon Musk, we all have heard of it, the Department of Government Efficiency, or also known as DOGE, has cut over 275,000 federal jobs. But understand this, power just reorganizes, but money never disappears. It just changes pockets. See, despite the dramatic headlines, it's critical to note all of this hoopla is only about a 2.5% reduction in the United States budget, which accounts for, I think our total budget is like $6.4 trillion, okay? A 2% impact on a $6.4 trillion budget will not collapse the federal procurement system. In other words, this is a nothing burger to the small business seeking to grow and scale their business through the vehicle of government and corporate contracts. Hear me clearly. The United States still remains the most established and consistent business partner on earth. Even in economic tightening, the wheels of government contracts will keep turning. They will forever turn. And for small businesses, fear is rising. And people are asking, will my certification still matter? Is it even worth applying to anymore? It's something to be aware of, not something to fear. See, most states still have their certifications in place. And just because you can't apply for a certification still does not mean you can't win and win big bids, even on the federal level. So as a matter of fact, we've compiled a list for you for all the active diversity, equity, and inclusion programs all throughout the United States that are still in motion. The reality is the civil rights movement of 1964 is still in place, and most states and local governments still find that this is the best way to track that municipalities are issuing contracts in the most equitable way possible. So unless you've engaged in government fraud, it doesn't concern you. Even the federal government will have to identify and track the allocation of government contracts to ensure that the procurement process is equitable. This is a political stunt that will be riddled with court cases and litigation for years to come. But let me be clear, this is not your fight. The storm may sound loud, but it's not always your storm. In the meantime, millionaires and billionaires are shouting fraud. They aren't backing down from the game, they're doubling down. And like savvy investors, they don't pull out when there's a scandal, they position themselves to bounce back. So why should you? Here are 10 historical examples who stayed the course, came out ahead, and how industries continue generating billions of dollars even after fraud was exposed. Several of you, over 20 years ago, for those of you who don't know, the Enron Scandal happened back in 2001. It was a $63.4 billion bankruptcy claim, all right? And it led to economic fallout and all of the things, but people still continued to invest in the stock market despite the fact that Enron existed and despite the fact that it happened. The same is for government and corporate work. We all heard about the Madoff Ponzi scheme, how Madoff made off with over $65 billion in money for people who invested in these institutions. In 2008, we had the financial crisis. $4.6 trillion of economic damage had occurred. And then we had $498 billion in bailouts, some of which were fraudulent and resulted in the PPP fraud, where over $200 billion were flagged as fraudulent. But the question is, we live in the most robust nation in the world, and we still continue to push forward. Now, we had an issue with Boeing 737 where planes were dropping out of the sky, and it was over $20 billion in losses for Boeing, but yet they are still one of the top federal contractors in aviation for the government. Social Security, they did back in like 2023, $23 billion in erroneous payouts. What is my point? My point is fraud will always be uncovered. Fraud will always exist. But the reality is that should not stop you from getting into the game. Let the government do what they do. See, each case shows a reoccurring pattern. Scandal sparks reform, and reform births multi-billion-dollar industries. So yes, there are cracks in the system. There are cracks in every system, but let those cracks be the blueprint for your next contract. Become the solution to our nation's problem. Which one of these fraud scandals do you remember? Were you already in business during one of them? How did you navigate? I want you to tell your story in the comments below. So let's talk about this really quickly. So the question really is, what is the solution, right? How do we stay the course during times of economic uncertainty or disparity? You know, my team and I, we have come up together with what we call the RISE principle. We have a whole video dedicated to that. Briefly, I will touch on this for those of you who have heard it before. Just feel free to skip forward. But the RISE principle is really about understanding the concept that adaptation is your advantage. The RISE principle equips you to win in any environment. RISE is an acronym, okay? The R stands for establish a relationship with the project owners. We live in a day and age where trust is the ultimate currency. Start investing early. Municipalities don't like to award big bids to strangers. You can't build a lasting business on hope alone. You need visibility, consistency, and relationship equity. Don't just chase the next bid. Build the kind of reputation that makes agencies come looking for you. That's how you create long-term, sustainable success. I stands for, this is one of my favorite, industry positioning. See, in the Win Big Bids community, we have rigged the Patero principle. And the Patero principle pretty much says this: 80% of the results are generated by 20% of your workflow activities. What does that mean? 80% of all of the revenue that you generate within your business is driven by 20% of the work. But we teach you to go even further than that. What if you focused on the 20% of the 20% of your workflow? See, you will do less and have exponential growth. Once you do the math, you'll determine that if you focus on 4% of your workflow, you'll generate 64% of your revenue. Build your business around the 4% of effort that generates 64% of your revenue, and you will never be broke again. S stands for strategic partnerships, all right? 2 small keys can unlock $1 million door. See, in business, proximity is power. You don't need to know everyone. You just need to align with the right ones. Strategic partners aren't just about who you like. They're about who opens the door for you. In the Win Big Bids community, we show you how to identify complementary businesses, legacy primes, and existing contract holders who can plug you in faster than any certification ever could. You're not here to compete for scraps. You're here to collaborate so that you can grow and scale exponentially. One solid partnership can 10x your capacity, your reach, your credibility. Stop building in isolation. Start partnering with purpose. And E, execution. Reputation is the resume that writes itself. Execution is what separates dreamers from earners. You can have the right certifications, the best offer, and a killer proposal, but if you don't deliver on time with excellence, it all falls apart. In the Win Big Bids community, we teach you how to create replicable systems that make high quality performance the standard, not the exception. We focus on repeatable results. We lean operations and flawless closeouts, because in the government space, one good contract gets you in, but great execution gets you invited back. Do it right, and your past performance will start writing your future checks. So these 4 pillars are the foundation that help contractors remain relevant, regardless of who's in office or what policies are shifting. Your proximity to the opportunity is rooted in your preparation and positioning, not the press cycle. If you want to build these pillars in real time, join our Win Big Bids Challenge. It's a 4-day virtual workshop for new and seasoned entrepreneurs to win government and corporate contracts. It's practical, it's proven. The link is in the description below. Now, before we dive into the media narrative around fraud, I have to pause. And I just want to speak to you from the heart for a second. I have been a contractor for the government for over 13 years. And what I saw in this Doge investigation disturbed me to my core. It wasn't just about the misuse of funds. It was about misusing our reputation. These findings can cast a shadow over hardworking federal contractors, civilian and political employees alike. But just like the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force, and every other department that serves, we as government contractors, we serve too. We serve with pride, we serve with discipline, we serve with results. And I am proud to serve my country. It's not perfect, it's not always fair, but I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. So hats off to all the government workers and contractors who work hard every single day to keep this country the best country in the world. So there's something that I want you to be aware of when it comes to the news cycle. Understand this. Fear sells faster than facts, but only facts will fund your future. Let's be honest. Those headlines were never written for you. Stay focused, stay compliant, stay ready. This is the season of visibility, not invisibility. I had a young lady reach out to me through Facebook and she's like, oh, I've been a federal contractor over the last 17 years and I lost my contract. I'm never coming back again. I said, what are you going to do? Go pick up a W-2 job? For the last 17 years, you have experienced the fruit of operating in government spaces. And I said, the concern here is you probably did not use the RISE principle to help stabilize your business. Do not become compliant and only winning government contracts. I want you to focus not only on government contracts, but corporate contracts also. The key is once you start running into financial success, you want to make sure that you are creating a business that can span as many different opportunities as possible. I want you to sell the sawdust. What is the sawdust? The sawdust is the outcome from the main effort. So your main effort is cutting the wood. But from that, you get these little sprinkles, these little pieces, the sawdust, the saw chips. Sell that. Take that as an opportunity, whatever it is from your business. If you specialize in doing a particular area of work, I want you to look at all the potential opportunities within your business to grow and scale. And there's always an output that is created from the work that you do that could then be resold. Whether your business is creating technology, right, to help other businesses like your business operate in a way that is much smoother than they would otherwise. Maybe you have created a proprietary system. Well, you can license that system to other businesses. You can teach courses on how to do what it is that you do. There's so many different ways to make money when you are an entrepreneur, but it takes the entrepreneurial eye for you to open up your eye and see those opportunities standing right in front of you. The biggest problem that I see with entrepreneurs, especially new entrepreneurs, they don't see all the opportunity that's available to them. And you're already using something that you've already created to help your business run more efficiently, to help your business run better. These are opportunities where you can, if you're selling wood to the government, you can sell wood to everyday people. You can have different groups of people that you sell the same assets to, just in a different asset class. So if you're selling raw wood to your local municipality, you could sell it by the ton. You could sell it by MBF, which is thousands of board feet. You could sell it by the cubic meter. But if you're selling wood to, let's say, a homeowner who is heating their home with wood, you'll sell it by what's called cord. Okay, it's the most common unit for firewood. All right, why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because there's different ways that you can package the services that you provide to the open market at large. Anyway, I want you to learn how to operate with the government without becoming political. See, you don't have to be political to operate in government spaces, just strategic. See, that means understanding the policies, but not letting them paralyze you. You don't need to pick a site to build a bridge. Stay informed, but stay moving. Because at the end of the day, if you're not bidding, you're not building. Are you looking for opportunities in your state? We've created a free document listing all 50 states that still offer women, veteran, and minority-based enterprise certifications. Just click the link in the description and your next contract might start with just one click. Here are some actionable steps to win big bids without becoming political. Number one, monitor your legislative updates weekly. You have a website that is attached to your local municipality. Simply go on there and just kind of touch around, look at, the latest laws that are being enacted. Spend no more than 30 minutes on this, unless you have major legislation that's hitting your local municipality. There's no need to spend a whole bunch of time on knowing everything about everything, right? But take a little bit of time and just know, how things are progressing, because sometimes, laws are introduced, but they never go through to become actionable laws, okay? And so you don't want to spend too much of your mental energy on something that is not likely to pass into a law for your local state. I want you to build relationships across party lines and agencies. Double check your certifications and diversify them. You may qualify for dozens of different types of certifications. So while some certifications might be going away, other certifications may be enacted. I'll give you a great example. for most municipalities, even if they had a situation where, okay, they're getting rid of certain certifications, there will always be what they call a DBE certification, disadvantaged business enterprise. Sometimes you're not making a certain amount of money. If your business doesn't make a certain amount of money, they're going to allow you the opportunity to get certified, and that certification will help you to grow and scale your businesses. How do I know this? Because I've seen this in various other counties and municipalities where, they don't want to base the issue on race. But if they were truthful, women don't make as much as men do, still to this day. So what they'll do is they'll qualify for the DBE certification. But like I mentioned before, a lot of these certifications ain't going nowhere. Like I said, because of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So anyway, moving right along, right? Don't just apply for government bids. I want you to apply for corporate bids as well. Diversify. Sell your product or services to a wide array of different segments. Whether you're selling to corporations, you're selling to the government, or you're selling to everyday people, create and streamline your workflow so that you can serve at every level. I want you to automate your compliance paperwork. Yes. So certifications come up, but there might be some compliance that's required. Automate it. This is something or paperwork that you're going to be doing all the time anyway. Become more efficient in your business and make that the primary focus so that you can drill down your business to focus more on industry positioning, and that you could become laser focused on providing your service. That 4% can generate 64% of your income. Don't allow things like compliance paperwork or doing your taxes, things of that sort, get in the way of you growing and scaling your business. I want you to join advisory committees. I want you to participate in your local community and attend industry days. And I know that sounds almost like it's a waste of time, but that is going to be the best way that you generate some relational equity with your local and state municipality. See, the more you move, the smaller the mountain becomes. What's one action you're committed to taking this week? Whether it's applying for a bid or updating your capability statement, drop it in the comments below to inspire someone else. See, you've got to be in it to win it. Let the politicians do politics. Let the complainers complain. And you, as the executive, execute. Which part of this message hit home for you? What opportunities are you eyeing in this economy? Let's start a real conversation below. Don't wait for the perfect wave. Learn to surf the wave you're on. Till next time, this is Alison Etinoff. Go win and win big.